Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for those who don't know, I'm Alicia and I've been interviewing inspirational people to find out how they've become such a success. Now this week I interviewed drummer from Simply Red, Gota. Here's how it went. Welcome to my channel. To begin with, if you could just introduce yourself, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Gota Yashiki. I'm from Japan. Now I'm living in Japan and I do making music, playing drums and little pieces of playing instruments like keyboards, guitar, bass, and a little bit of singing.
Cool. So you were the drummer for Simply Red.
Yes,
How long were you with them for?
I think I don't know exactly when I'm joining in, but I start working with them is from 1990, I think.
Okay.
And then I recorded the whole album of fourth, their fourth album is called The Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I finished the recording, Mick Hakuno asked me to join a band to do a tour with me. And I was like kind of surprised, but my dream to be wanted to do a world tour, so obviously I accepted. And then I separated a little bit because I wanted to do my own stuff,
Okay.
and but it's kind of like you know, back into recording a little bit, and then doing my other things, and back to Japan and doing other productions, and came back. So yeah, started from, let's say, from 1990, and then now I moved back to Japan is 2000, when? I can't remember, 2006 or something. So yeah, something like that, 10, 15 years I was with Simply Red.
Okay, so quite a while. What was your most memorable moment?
Wow, so many memorable moments. You know, when I was child, and still I'm not, you know, doing as a professional or like as a musician, but I was watching on telly about all the rock bands or groups like Queen or like Simon and Garfunkel's. Like Simon and Garfunkel, they played in New York. What had they called in the center? And we played there, and that was like in moments to me it was like a dream come true. And also like when the Queen they played in Wembley Stadium, where the Twin Towers was there, and that time when we played there was like 1991. We did 2 days show there,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember on TV's, you know, like a scenery about like a Queen or like a Live Aid, maybe before your time, maybe, I don't know. Um, it's like about 75,000 people I heard. It's unbelievable. That is like a live gigs, and other things is like when we're moving as a band, like getting in a private jet before, so it's an individual country. So those days, I have a Japanese passport. So then from England to going to Germany, I have to go to immigration to show passport, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because of that band for the TV promotion, and we went there, arrived at the airport, and the car was there, and I was just like having passport, but nobody to show. uh, so on. And otherwise, all the hotels we did the tour was that somebody said to me was, oh, see if it's Simply Red, it would be the first class tour. And it was like, all the hotel was like every city was the top hotels, but we only slept there for a few hours and moved to the other countries. But yeah, it was great fun. Yeah.
What an amazing experience. Do you still keep in contact with like the rest of the band members?
Oh yeah, yeah. They're still really good friends. And if somebody's birthday, I send a short message, and if I'm my birthday, everybody come bring a happy birthday message. And but because of I'm in Japan, so it's unfortunately I can't see them. But like this video chat, I do sometimes.
Oh, I bet that's lovely to keep in contact with everyone. Have you worked with any other bands other than Simply Red or any other people?
I wasn't really. I was more like interested to do as a recording artist, like supporting for the songs. Like then, when I was doing Simply Red, before the Simply Red I was doing much more like a dance-oriented tracks. Like if you know the Soul to Soul, Back to Life. Yeah, I did a little contribution on that track. So that's why Mick Hacknell, he interested me, because of that kind of like a not only machine type of programming dance track. It's more like a mixture between organic and like digital, if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was more busy doing that, and then I was kind of start knowing a few other creators, so I was working for the other tracks.
Now, in a band, like the band members change quite a bit. How
you mean Simply Red?
Yeah, Simply Red, and even other band members, like you have different guitarists, different drummers, all the different time they change. How do you build up that relationship so that it is shown on stage? Because I imagine everyone has to be friendly, they can't not get along.
Sure. It's almost like a become more than friends if you're in the band. It's more like a family, you know, like a brother, sister, or like a cousin or something like that. And then as you can see, the other bands are also you know, changing few members. Some bands never changes, but I think it's like you don't want to stay because of a friendship. Then if you wanna try other kind of style of music or something new, like it's I say, for example, like Miles Davis, trumpet player, jazz player, and he hates himself in categorized as a jazz musician. He wanted to be a much more freer kind of creator, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's Mick Hacknell is also similar kind of artist who are looking for kind of new style to suit his voice. Like Miles Davis, he had a certain beautiful tone that if you hear his trumpet, that's Miles. So if you hear the Mick Hacknell's voice, you can say, oh, that's Mick's voice, isn't it? It's from Simply Red. It's easy. Yeah. And so he wants to have a possibility of how can achieve to his vocal to be on, you know, some different kind of style of music which he really into that moment, or you know. So that if that kind of things you wanted, then sometimes you want to invite some other musicians into making some different style of music or different sound of, and then if it goes well, then you want to tour. Like maybe a good example is maybe me, right? Because I was doing something else, and I was kind of like good at mixing between like machine kind of drums, and also I played drums. So human style of the drums, I can mix together. So it's already sounds different than the previous drummer who was he was more like a human drummer. It's not like a programming machine either, right?
Yeah.
But I was both. Then so if that thing happens, and then if recording went well, then sound is like something special if you feel it, and I felt that too. And I wasn't too much thinking doing a long-term tour because I was so enjoying making sound in the studio, like a very precise, like a little changing this hat sound a little bit there, and then, that kind of things that I was so into. So, but if that thing happens, then both agreed, then you want to be in the joint band. But sometimes like a Rolling Stones or something that Keith and Mick and Charlie Watts never changes kind of thing.
Okay, so would you say it's like the amount of time you spend together whilst rehearsing that makes you become like a family?
Yeah, because when you're playing, you don't really talk. And those days, 1990, I was still like moved to England about 2 years ago. So only 2 years of being in an English environment. So I couldn't speak too much, but we're doing playing many times, and then after playing, we having dinner or whatever, drinking, talking, and then you want to get people more who you are playing with, because when you're on the stage playing something, and if you're doing improvisationing something, or look at you to saying, I want to end this song now, or I want to extend a little bit more, or something like that, kind of like suggestion is coming. If you know each other well, then those things move smooth, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know, then you're going, what do you want? It's like brothers and sisters, like when you say, then oh, well, you want a water or something like that.
Okay, so you were obviously involved with the band Simply Red. It's really well known, such an iconic band. Did that have an effect on you mentally, like with everyone knowing kind of who you were?
I think if I say no, I didn't. That should be lying, because those days was like that album went so well, and if I go to like, especially in Europe, everybody recognized me. In England, I'm walking down the street and they go, oh, he's from Simply Red guy, da da da. And I remember when I went to Spain and stayed in a hotel, and somebody sat next to me was going, oh, you're from Simply Red. How are you coming for the tourist or something? Yeah, I'm on holiday. Okay, I coming to pick you up tomorrow morning, and I take you blah 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 blah. So every day she come and took me everywhere, that kind of thing. And if you go to the restaurant, you get some things extra dishes or something like that, and they treat us so well, and so it changed many things, I think. And some people who want to do some business with me or some other Simply Red bands, some people are good, but some people are bad, and you never know until that things happens. But after that, it's all had so many opportunity to play with other great musicians, and yeah, that was experiment is much more expanded in my world.
Okay, and what's life been like since Simply Red? You're obviously now back in Japan.
It's like Simply Red is it did really well in Europe, and in Japan, people knows who likes music, but not like a massive hit, because Japan is kind of like a unique, like a much more domestic music is oriented. So like all the musicians knows who the Simply Reds are, not much knows about. So in that sense, it's kind of like easier to move about.
Like, what are you doing now?
When I moved back was in Tokyo. I spent a few years there, but because I born in Kyoto, and Kyoto is much more historical city, like ex capital. Before Tokyo was Kyoto was capital then, and so much culture, so many arts, and also there is so many colleges. So it's young people there, and very much energy I can feel, and I feel much more interested to live in Kyoto. So I moved to Kyoto, and went to many temples, shrines, so many things there. And at the same time, so those musicians are in Japan, they want to work with me, like doing a track with me, and also doing a tour with me. And I'm doing like 3 months tour in Japan every year almost. Now is this thing is happening, so we couldn't do anything. We couldn't move anywhere. But that was good, because as I said, I didn't know much about Japanese culture, Japanese Japanese things, anything really. So I went to the other countries and looking at places, going to visit places, and eating different kind of recipe, and it's I tell you, it's Japanese food is the best.
Is it? Who is your biggest inspiration and why?
Yeah, well, it's so many things that to get you makes you create something, like even some wind was very kind and warm, then you feel like, oh, you get inspiration. And also if you go to like a shrine or somewhere in autumn, and you see the autumn leaves and you feel something. And I still like 50s and 60s, 70s, whatever the category is, like a soundtrack to jazz, rock, blues, funk. I still get inspiration out of those also, and also modern music I love. And it's like a funny thing. Some people can remember exactly the name of the band, name of the song, and when it released, all the details, like a DJ,
Yeah.
But I never remembers the band name or song names, but when you hear it, oh yeah, I know this song, I love this song, and this is blah blah. This guy, oh, even Simply Red, when I'm joining, asking me to doing a recording, and then couple weeks before, I asked the Simply Red management to say, if you can send me the previous records that maybe I can get some imagination out of them. And I didn't know so many songs that I knew. Oh, I know this song. Oh, is this Simply Red? Oh, I know this song also, you know. I bought one album, not album, like a 12-inch single remixed by Lee Perry and Adrian Schaud. It's a reggae song, cover version of Barney Spears, something. It's called A Fire. And I love that song. And I saw it was a reggae band then. So, you know, so going back to the subject, its inspiration is kind of like from radio, from the wind, and anything. And then I'm starting playing, mostly I like playing guitar. So when I write songs, then I do that. But creating those rhythms and sounds are, well, always thinking something. If you hear something and this could be good sound for this kind of rhythm, or so on. It never stops.
Okay, and in terms of a person, is there someone who inspires you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is, as I said, like a Miles Davis, who I think he was a great creator, frontier of the music, I think.
Okay.
And I think very common people that I adore. I think like John Lennon, obviously. I really love what he's saying and what, as a human, you know, he was in a band for such a famous band, and then he left. Reason why is because so many things that, you know, it didn't go well. It's more like a love story, isn't it? Yeah, and then he was start creating things, and then he met Yoko, and then he just released a new album, and he got shot, and it was a shocking thing. And I love the album, and still I love the Beatles, obviously. So in a sense, I love Art Blakey. I love you know, John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, or Carlton Barrett from Bob Marley band, and also like Stuart Copeland from the Police, or like a Ringo Starr from the Beatles. Yeah, so I think maybe first drummer that I liked was Art Blakey, and still I love.
Okay, fantastic. And finally, I've got 10 really quick questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So, question number 1 is, what was your favourite song you ever performed?
Stars.
Japan or England?
What, favorite country, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that is a big question. Japan.
Favorite food?
Favorite food. So many. It's such wicked questions. Okay. Yeah, Japanese food.
Okay. And your favorite band member you enjoyed working with when you were with Simply Red?
Mekakuno.
Okay. Your favorite instrument to play?
Drums.
Matcha tea or English breakfast tea?
English breakfast tea.
Crisps or peanuts?
Crisps.
Sports or reading?
Sports. Football.
Okay. Cars or motorbikes?
Cars.
And trainers or shoes?
Shoes.
Fantastic. That concludes today's interview. Thank you very much.
Great, okay.
Now, I hope you all enjoyed that interview with Gota, and I hope you all learnt something as well. I know what stood out for me was when Gota was talking about how he was noticed to be in the band Simply Red. And that just proves that no matter where you are, what you're doing, you never know when you're going to get noticed and when your dream will eventually come true. You can follow Gota here, and I'll also post some links below to where you can see his music. If you have someone that inspires you, comment below. I'm always so interested to find out who others find inspirational. Likewise, if you have an inspirational story to tell, comment below, drop me a message on social media, or even drop me an email. On Wednesday at 5 o'clock, I'll be speaking with Professor Tim Wilson from the 2019 series of The Circle. If you've enjoyed this video, comment below, let me know what you think. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. See you all on Wednesday. See you later.